Hello friends, this is David Miller, Phoenix, Arizona multimedia artist, talking to you from my studio, Primordial Creative in Tempe, Arizona. We are continuing our series on experimental photography, and today we are going to cover gel lighting. And gels are these transparent squares that are multicolored. Some are very weak, and they are meant for lighting correction. So if you have a white balance on your camera set a certain way, and you have mixed lighting sources like light bulbs or fluorescent versus LEDs and daylight coming in, you can correct the balance of those. But the specific kind of gels I'm talking about are these very brightly colored type of gels. So you can see on my LED light, I have a very thick green gel on here, and as it approaches my face, it casts a unique, almost pop art style coloration on it. I happen to have one wrapped on this, and it's casting light in every direction. If I want to be very directional with the light, meaning I only want it to go one way, a really simple way of getting that to happen is to use this material called cinefoil, although you could get any kind of foil. It doesn't have to be like the specific cinema stuff. As long as it's opaque and you can bend it, I would think tin foil from a grocery store would work just as well. It'd be a little weaker, but I can wrap this around my light. Shape it as a hood. Get something very specific just over me. I love working with gels because they are a quick and simple way to alter what would normally be very boring, straight ahead lighting. So let me remove the gels from these lights and you'll see how flat and uninteresting it is by contrast. Back to boring old me. Now, one of the benefits when you gel the light is that the skin tones on the human face go totally different than they are in reality. So if you're going to process this in Lightroom and apply like a black and white filtration to it, it is going to render your person totally different than it would have been if you just shot me normal and ran this through the black and white filtration. You can also use the gels to alter the color of your background so they're not 100% consistent all the way through. And this was a pure white background that has since been altered to include a little bit of green, a little bit of red. Of course, I have many colors of backdrops in my studio, but I feel like it's kind of fun to have something that's not so flat and plain. If I put a green on both ends, I definitely could make it look as if it was a fully green paper backdrop, but it also takes me time to swap out those backdrops, and putting these colored gels on the lights is a matter of seconds versus a matter of 5-10 minutes. When you're in a studio shooting scenario and the clock is ticking, it's really important to conserve your time. So my ideal background to shoot in is something that's very plain and neutral that I can swap out the colors on and change really quickly without having to actually take the roll off the backdrop. Now, you could find anything that's colorful and transparent and put it in front of your lights. Certainly colorful tissue paper will work. The problem is, unless it is intentionally meant to go next to very hot lights, even if they're LEDs and they're kind of cool, you have the risk of fire, and that's going to end your shoot really quickly. So I actually recommend splurging on the 30-40 bucks, whatever it costs, to get some kind of photographic actual lighting gels rather than just finding something that's kind of clear and sticking in front of your light. Similarly, if you have a colored piece of glass, there's no good way to get that to stick to your light. It won't melt, but it's heavier than the gels and not as easy to transport. And having broken glass all over the place is also going to end your shoot really rapidly. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, share and subscribe, tell all your friends, and check out my YouTube channel for more experimental photography and videography tips and tricks. Talk to you next time.